Hey friends, welcome back to English Chat with Matt, the podcast where we help you speak real, natural English, one conversation at a time.
And if it's your first time here, hi, we're so glad you found us. Before we get started, just a quick favor. If you enjoy the show, hit subscribe, give us a rating, and leave a comment. It really helps more people find us, and then keeps our coffee budget alive.
No joke. Without caffeine, this show would be called Mumbling with Matt and Occasional Yawning with Olivia. But today, we're wide awake and fully charged, because we're diving into a topic that's as painful as it is funny.
We're talking about those facepalm moments. You know the ones, when you're trying to sound smart in English and end up saying something that makes everyone blink or giggle, like telling your date, "I'm boring," when you meant to say you're bored. Or proudly announcing, "I have 25 years, like a rare wine."
Or that time I told a group of students, "Don't worry, I will support you behind." I was trying to say, "I've got your back," but the room went silent. Then someone said, "Thanks, but that sounded kind of creepy."
It happens to everyone, native speakers included. Language is weird. Sometimes even one tiny word can change the entire meaning of a sentence. And when you're learning a new language, that's part of the adventure.
Exactly. That's why today's episode is all about embracing mistakes, not hiding from them, not being ashamed, but learning to laugh, reflect, and move forward stronger.
Here's what you'll learn today. First, we'll go over 5 of the most common English mistakes that sound totally normal in your native language, but can cause some really funny confusion.
Then we'll share some real funny stories from English learners around the world. People like you who surveyed some epic language fails and came out smiling.
And after that, we'll teach you how to gracefully fix a mistake in conversation. Because let's be honest, you will mess up English sometimes, but what you do next, that's what shows your confidence and growth.
Like, imagine you say something wrong in a meeting. You can panic and go silent, or you can say, "Oops, let me rephrase that," and keep going. That tiny moment of recovery is what separates learners from communicators.
So if you've ever frozen mid-sentence, said something weird without knowing it, or had someone laugh and you didn't know why, you're not alone. You're in the club. And honestly, that's a great place to be.
We've both made so many mistakes learning other languages too. Like when I tried to speak French in Paris and said, "Je suis plein," which literally means I'm full but sounds like I'm pregnant if you say it to the wrong person.
Oh no, you didn't. That's amazing. Once in Spain, I tried to compliment someone's cooking and accidentally said, "Your soup is violent." I meant intense. She looked terrified.
So let's get one thing straight. Mistakes are not something to be ashamed of. They're proof that you're doing the work, that you're taking risks, and that you're learning through real experience.
And let's be real, some of these mistakes make the best stories. You'll never forget the moment you called your teacher baby instead of maybe, or confused cook with cookie.
So in today's episode, let's unpack the mistakes, learn why they happen, how to fix them, and how to laugh through them.
Because you deserve to speak English with confidence, even if, no, especially if, you've had some embarrassing moments along the way.
So grab your coffee, sit back, and let's begin. Coming up next, the top 5 most embarrassing English mistakes and how to never make them again. Let us begin with mistake number 1, a classic error that almost every English learner has made at least once. It is the sentence, "I am boring."
Yes, I remember the first time I heard a student say, "I am boring." I paused and said, "Wait, are you trying to tell me something about your personality?" They laughed and said, "No, I mean, this class is boring."
Exactly. The sentence should be, "I am bored." Boring describes something else. Bored describes how you feel. So if you say, "This movie is boring," that is fine. But if you say, "I am boring," then you are telling people that you are not interesting.
One of our listeners, Sophie from Taiwan, told us a story. She introduced herself in her first English class by saying, "Hello, everyone. I am Sophie. I am boring." The class went completely silent. After a few seconds, someone whispered, "Did she really just say that?"
But here is the good news. She never made that mistake again. Sometimes our most embarrassing moments become our strongest memories.
Let us move on to mistake number 2. I have 25 years. This one is very common for people who speak Spanish, Portuguese, or French. In those languages, you say that you have a number of years. But in English, we say, "I am 25 years old."
I remember a Brazilian friend once said, I have 30 years and I have a husband. It sounded like she went shopping for both of them in the same store.
That sentence is grammatically wrong, but also kind of poetic, like, "Here is my age and here is my man."
So remember, age is a state of being in English. You say, I am 25 or he is 40, not I have 25.
Okay, mistake number 3. I am agree. This one looks logical. After all, we say, "I am tired" or "I am happy." So why not "I am agree"?
Because in English, agree is not an adjective, it is a verb. So you simply say, I agree. No am. If you say, I am agree, it sounds like you are combining two grammar systems, and they are fighting each other.
I once heard someone in a meeting say, "Yes, yes, I am agree with that idea completely." The meaning was clear, but it sounded a little strange, like you are trying too hard.
If you want to sound natural, just say, I agree, short and clear.
Now, mistake number 4. He is very sympathy. This one is about the difference between a noun and an adjective. Sympathy is a noun. Sympathetic is the adjective form, so the correct sentence is, "He is very sympathetic."
Let me explain in simple terms. If you want to describe someone's personality, you need an adjective. So you say, she is sympathetic. But if you are talking about the feeling, you say, she showed sympathy. If you say, she is very sympathy, that sounds incorrect. The word does not fit that sentence.
It is like calling someone very sadness instead of very sad. The grammar does not match.
Last one, mistake number 5. Let us discuss about it. This one is very sneaky. Many people think discuss needs the word about, just like talk about.
But here's the trick. Discuss already includes the meaning of about. So saying discuss about is like saying talk about about. It is too much.
So just say, let us discuss it. Clean, natural, correct.
Let us quickly review the 5 mistakes. I am boring should be I am bored. I have 25 years should be I am 25 years old. I am agree should be I agree. He is very sympathy should be he is very sympathetic. Discuss about it should be discuss it.
If you have made any of these mistakes, congratulations. That means you are trying, and trying is the first step to fluency.
We all make mistakes when we speak a second language. Even native speakers say weird things sometimes. What matters is that you keep learning and keep laughing.
Coming up next, some real hilarious stories from English learners just like you. You do not want to miss them. Now that we have covered the top 5 mistakes, let us move on to something even more fun. Real embarrassing stories from English learners around the world.
These are stories that people have sent us, or ones we have heard over the years from students, friends, and sometimes from ourselves.
Let me start with one from our listener, Daniel, in South Korea. He was giving a presentation at his company and he wanted to say, I hope this gives you a good impression. But instead he said, I hope this gives you a good infection. Everyone froze. Someone in the back whispered, What kind of infection?
That is such a classic. Just one small sound can completely change the meaning of your sentence. It is a perfect example of why pronunciation matters, and also why humor helps.
Here is another one from Laura, who studied abroad in Canada. She was staying with a host family and wanted to ask if she could wash her clothes. She said, Can I use your washing machine? I need to clean my underwears. She added an S at the end of underwear.
Oh no. It is already a little awkward to talk about underwear. But when you say it in plural, it sounds even funnier. Like you have 100 pairs lying around after a fashion show.
Exactly. The host family smiled politely, but Laura said she wanted to disappear into the laundry basket forever. Now she laughs about it and never forgets that underwear is uncountable.
One more story. This one from a guy named Amir in Egypt. He was talking to a female coworker and meant to say, "You look very comfortable," but he accidentally said, "You look very available."
Oh no, that is the kind of mistake that makes your heart stop. He said the room got completely quiet, and she just raised one eyebrow. He corrected himself right away, but he told us it took weeks before he felt normal again.
And we totally understand. When you make a mistake like that, it feels like the whole world saw it. But in reality, most people forget it quickly, and you will remember it forever.
Actually, I had my own embarrassing moment back in university. I was practicing my English with a group of exchange students and meant to say, "I'm really hungry." But instead I said, "I am very horny." I had no idea what I had just said.
Wait, you did not know?
No, I thought it meant excited or full of energy. Everyone looked at me like I had just proposed marriage. One of them gently explained it to me after the conversation ended. I wanted to hide in my room for the rest of the semester.
That is so real. It shows how one wrong word, even if your grammar is perfect, can send the wrong message.
Yes, and sometimes the problem is not the word. It is the culture. I once saw a student say, "I will make you mine," during a Valentine's activity in class. It was meant to be sweet, but it sounded like a scene from a dramatic movie.
Or an action film. Make You Mine sounds romantic in theory, but very intense in practice.
Another funny one came from May in Malaysia. She said she was trying to compliment her teacher's voice and said, "Your voice is very seductive." She meant soothing. The teacher turned bright red.
That is amazing. And it happens all the time. Words like sensitive, seductive, and sentimental can be confusing because they sound soft and emotional, but their meanings are very different.
So here is the lesson. Do not be afraid of making mistakes. Do not run from them. Use them, learn from them, and maybe one day share them with someone else who needs a laugh.
Actually, that is a great idea. If you are listening right now and you have ever said something embarrassing in English, tell us about it. Send us a message, leave a comment. We would love to share your story in a future episode.
And remember, the goal is not to speak perfect English. The goal is to speak brave English. Every mistake is a step forward, even if it comes with a little embarrassment.
Up next, we are going to show you exactly how to recover from these mistakes. How do you fix a sentence when you say the wrong thing? How do you stay calm, smile, and keep going?
That is right. Coming up, the ultimate guide to saving the moment with style, confidence, and maybe even a little charm. Stay with us. So far, we have talked about the most common mistakes, and we have laughed at some truly unforgettable stories. Now it is time to talk about what you can do next. When you make a mistake in English, how do you recover?
Because let us face it, no matter how much you prepare, mistakes will happen. You will say the wrong word, you will mix up grammar, maybe someone will laugh, and in that moment you will probably feel a little panic, but that is normal.
Yes, it is totally normal. So, what should you do? Well, first, do not freeze. Keep the conversation going. If you stop talking, that is when the moment becomes awkward.
Exactly. One of the best things you can say is something simple like, "Wait, that came out wrong. Let me say that again." It shows confidence and it gives you time to correct yourself.
Or you can say, "I meant to say," and then give the correct word. People understand, and most of the time they will appreciate your effort even more.
You can even use humor to save the moment. Like, if you say something strange by accident, just smile and say, "Well, that was not in the textbook." A little laughter can turn embarrassment into connection.
Here is another phrase I love. That is not quite what I meant. It is polite and it keeps things light. It also gives you the space to try again.
Let us talk about body language too. Sometimes your words may not be perfect, but your tone, your smile, your eye contact, those things communicate so much.
Yes, if you say something wrong but you are relaxed, people will feel that. But if you panic and get nervous, they will feel that too. So take a breath, smile, and keep going.
And remember, you are allowed to ask for help. You can say, "Is that the right word?" Or "How do you usually say this?" That kind of question actually makes you sound curious and brave, not weak.
Absolutely, it turns a mistake into a shared moment. Suddenly, you are not just a learner, you are a communicator.
Now, let us imagine a few situations. For example, you accidentally say, "I am boring," instead of "I am bored." What can you do?
You could say, "Oops, I meant I am bored. I hope I'm not boring." Then smile. People will laugh and the tension disappears.
Or what if you say, "I am agree" in a meeting?
Just pause and say, "Oh, correction, I agree." You fix it and move on. That's it. No need to explain, no need to panic.
Here's a fun one. You say you are very seductive when you mean soothing. Now what?
Okay, that one is a little more serious, but still fixable. You could say, "Oh no, I used the wrong word. I meant your voice is very calming." Then laugh. People will understand that you are learning.
The key point is this: mistakes do not define you. How you respond to them does.
And honestly, some of the best conversations I have had started because of a mistake. Someone said something funny by accident, and it led to a great moment.
So the next time you make a mistake in English, do not say, "I am terrible at this." Say, "That was funny and I am learning."
Language is a living thing. You do not master it by studying alone. You master it by using it. And yes, sometimes by messing up.
So here is our simple 3-step rescue plan. Pause, smile, correct yourself, or ask for help. Keep going, never stop mid-conversation.
If you do that, you will sound more natural, more confident, and honestly, more human.
Here is one last tip before we move on. Practice repair phrases. Just like you learn vocabulary or grammar, you can learn phrases that help you fix things.
Some of my favorites are, "Sorry, that was not right. Let me try that again. That came out strange. I meant to say, use them often. Make them part of your toolbox."
Coming up, a quick recap and some questions for you, because now we want to hear your voice.
Before we wrap up today's episode, let us take a moment to reflect on everything we have learned and invite you to join the conversation.
We started today with the simple truth. Making mistakes in English is not just normal, it is necessary. It means you are using the language, testing your skills, and getting better each time.
We explored 5 common mistakes that many learners make, like saying, "I am boring" instead of "I am bored," or using "I have 25 years" when you really mean "I am 25 years old."
Then we heard real stories from people all over the world. Moments that were funny, a little painful, but always unforgettable. From saying infection instead of impression to complimenting someone's voice as seductive. We have all had our moments.
And more importantly, we talked about how to recover. Because making a mistake is one thing, but knowing how to fix it with grace, confidence, and maybe a little humor, that is a real skill.
Now, we want to turn the mic to you. Yes, you. Have you ever made a funny or embarrassing mistake in English?
Maybe you used the wrong word at work. Maybe you said something awkward on a date. Maybe you made your teacher laugh without knowing why. Whatever it was, we want to hear about it.
And here's your challenge. Write out the sentence you said, the one with the mistake, and then write the corrected version. This will help you remember and help others learn too.
You can share it with us by leaving a comment down below, right here on our YouTube channel, English Chat with Matt. Tell us your sentence and what you really meant to say. We might even read your story in a future episode.
And if you enjoyed this episode, Please take a second to follow the show, give us a rating, share it with a friend. That small action helps more people find us and helps us keep creating content you love.
More than that, it helps others feel less alone. Because let us be honest, it is easy to feel discouraged when you make mistakes in a second language. But when we share our stories, we remind each other that we are all learning together.
Here is one final thing I want you to remember. You do not have to speak perfect English to be powerful. You just have to speak your English, the kind that reflects your thoughts, your culture, and your voice.
That is right. This language does not belong only to native speakers. It belongs to everyone who uses it with purpose, kindness, and courage.
So the next time you say something wrong, just smile. Take a breath, fix it if you want, or just keep going. Every sentence is a step forward.
Thank you for spending time with us today. You have listened, laughed, and learned. We are so proud of the progress you are making, even if you do not always see it.
Next week, we are talking about small talk, how to start a conversation in English when your brain feels completely blank.
Yes. Whether you are meeting someone at a party, joining a new class, or just standing in an elevator, we will teach you how to break the silence with confidence.
Until then, take care of yourself, be kind to your mistakes, and keep moving forward.
Keep listening, keep speaking, keep becoming.
Bye.
Bye.
See you
See
in
you
the
in the
next
next
one.
one.